Welcome to another video brought to you by Appliance Reliance. Today we are working on a side-by-side Whirlpool refrigerator that is completely warm and is not cooling both fridge or freezer compartments. Here is the model number and the serial number for the unit. So let's jump right to it. The fridge is completely room temperature. The freezer is also completely room temperature. First, we started by taking the rear panel off in the freezer compartment so we can examine the coils and see how much frost is on there. As you can see, there is absolutely no frost on the coils. The fan is operating, which tells us that if the freezer compartment was able to cool down, then so would the fridge compartment. So at this point, let's head on over to the back of the unit to test a few things. In our situation, the compressor is not running and is completely cold to the touch. So that's where we're going to start. Since the compressor is completely cold and we do not hear any clicking coming from the compressor start relay, we're going to go ahead and take that start relay off and check to see if there is proper voltage coming to the start relay from the control board. Be sure to unplug the fridge before performing this step. Carefully insert a flathead screwdriver between the compressor start relay and the compressor. Pry away gently from the compressor and the relay should come off fairly easy. Once you've successfully removed the relay from the compressor, at this point you will need to turn the unit back on to perform the following tests. We are going to be live voltage troubleshooting, so be extra careful for the following steps. Turning your voltmeter to measure volts AC, we're going to stick one lead to the white wire side of the plug and the other lead onto the red wire side of the plug. In a perfectly normally working fridge, this test should produce a reading of around 120 volts. And we are getting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 0.5 volts. That is nowhere close to 120 volts like we should be getting. And we also noticed that this condenser fan motor was not running either. The only other time this condenser fan motor would not be running is if the fridge was in defrost mode. Removing these 4 screws will allow you to access the control board where you can perform a few more tests. Once you remove this panel, you will notice there'll be yet another panel covering the control board. On the right side, you will find a slot into which you can stick your flathead screwdriver and pry the panel away from the refrigerator casing and pull it out. With the power still plugged in, we are going to check how much voltage the control board is sending to the compressor starter relay. With the red wire being our hot wire and the white wire being our neutral wire, we'll go ahead and stick our red lead into the red wire slot and our black lead into the white wire slot of this connector. Our voltage is reading 0. On the same connector, the very top black wire would be the voltage coming into the unit. And if we test that, we are getting 122 volts. So we are getting power to the control board, but no power coming away from the control board. Sometimes a few gentle taps on a relay can get you a long way. When tapping on a cluster of relays in the control board with my finger, the fan began to jerk back and forth. And gently shaking the control board back and forth confirmed our theory 100%. The control board is bad. So once we got that replaced, the unit fired right up and resumed its cooling. Don't forget to like and subscribe to be informed of our next projects.